All right, good evening. Welcome, everyone. This is our July 2nd regular town council meeting, and we actually have some new members. This was an election year, so we had some newly elected people as well as some people that were returning. But we'd like to start out the meeting by our agenda, and we'll ask for a roll call, please.
Shannon?
Here.
Leek?
Here.
Anthony? Leek?
Here.
Edwards? Here. Vassos? Here. Day?
Here. Great. We also have the privilege, first of all, it's our invocation. We have Joel Anderson from the Bishopric, second counselor at the Haymarket Ward of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, here to tell us a little bit about the ward and then let us know, and we'll stand for the prayer.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, council members, appreciate the invitation. I come on behalf of the Bishop of the Haymarket Ward, which is what we call our congregations of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We meet at the chapel over on Glenkirk Road. We meet at 11 o'clock on Sundays, and you and other members here of the Haymarket area are certainly welcome to come and visit us anytime you'd like on Sundays. We're also having a 4th of July breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 4th over by Silver Lake, so you'd be welcome to join us for that as well. But I appreciate being here, and go ahead and stand. And we'll
Sure, absolutely.
Our Father in heaven, we're so grateful to gather here as citizens of the town of Haymarket, and so grateful for our mayor and our council members and the dedicated service that they provide to our town. We're grateful to congregate at this important week, the week that we celebrate the independence of this country, and we're grateful for the freedoms that we enjoy here and in the safety and security that we have. We're grateful for our service members who serve abroad and pray and ask for their protection as they protect those freedoms that we enjoy. We're also grateful for those wonderful law enforcement officers that we have here locally, and pray for their safety and hope that they understand our love for them. Father, we're grateful for Thee and for the love that Thou hast for all of us, and pray that we'll be able to feel of that love and to dedicate our lives in the service of Thee. Pray for guidance for the mayor and for the council members and for the staff this evening as they discuss and deliberate on important matters, that they will make wise decisions, and that they will be inspired and they will be helpful to this community. And lastly, Father, we pray for the members of this community that will continue to support each other and continue to have Thy Spirit with us. And these things we pray for humbly and in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. If we could continue standing. We also have the privilege of having Girl Scout Troop number 5204. And to give us the Pledge of Allegiance, we have Grace Ferris, Kiza Francis, Angela Trang, and Iona Madison to lead us in this Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Thank you, girls. All right, we're going to switch things up just a little bit on our agenda. Line item number 7, the Haymarket Masonic Lodge number 313 for the Community Builders Award. We have Charles Wagner, the presenter. Sir, if you'd like to just come up to the podium here, and feel free to. Absolutely.
Mayor Leake, one of the things that the Masonic fraternity does in certain areas is give a Community Builders Award to the services that are handled in whatever jurisdiction they're in. I have with me a contingent of officers from Haymarket Lodge who are proud to present to the Haymarket Police Department this award. So at this time, with your permission, I would like to have the chief and the rest of the members of the police department to come up and stand here so that we can make the presentation.
Where do you want us to?
Stand right there. You be right here.
Kelly, just direct me.
It is,
Make a move if you have to.
it is a special honor and privilege to present this Community Builders Award. It is from the most worshipful Grand Lodge of Ancient Free and Accepted Masons of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and it is presented to the entire Haymarket Police Department in recognition for outstanding services to the community. This award is given, and heartfelt gratitude is expressed for the significant efforts of the, I can't even read anymore, for the significant efforts toward making the community a better place in which to live. And we've had the pleasure of being in this community for a long time and have appreciated your services very much. So, Chief, I'm going to present this to you.
Thank you, sir.
And
This is my book right here. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
and we look forward to continued services from the police department. Thank you very much for these services. Mr. Mayor, thank you. That's great. Okay, our next item on our agenda here will be for our minutes of approval. And just for clarification, Attorney, Mr. Krim, the new members are allowed to vote on minutes even though they weren't present, if my memory serves me correct?
That's correct, Mayor. The fact that a member was not present at a set of meetings or does not impact their ability to vote on the minutes. You're allowed to trust the staff to do a good job.
All right, great. Thank you. Now, with that, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve the minutes from the Mayor and Council regularly scheduled June 4, 2018 meeting.
Motion on the floor.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Shannon. Discussion on the minutes? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Our next item on our agenda is our citizens' time, our chance to hear from our citizens. This will be, if we could just have the name and address of the people who'd like to speak and just come up to the podium. Feel free to say what you'd like to say.
Family march coming up here.
There you go.
Marchant Schneider, Naomi Schneider, and Sierra Schneider, 14811 Rising Sun Lane, Long Street Commons. We wanted to come and recognize the police department, Chief Lands, Sergeant Schaefer, Officer Davis, and Lonnie Milstead. They participated in, I think, our 5th annual end-of-year, school year water balloon battle. It's been a great addition. It's a great asset to the community, having them present. It's always interesting to see kids get the realization in their eyes that they can throw a water balloon at a police officer. But they're good-spirited about it. I don't know if you've seen the video online. Good cameo of Officer Davis at the end. So anyway, thank you for allowing the police department's community support. It's great to have them. Chuck Carnahan, who's the president of the board of directors for Long Street Commons, also wanted to extend the thanks to the board of directors. So again, thank you very much. Good time. Want to see me? No? Okay. See you guys.
And just for clarification, we will have a public hearing, so if anyone's here for the SUP, we'll have a separate time to be able to address those comments. All right, seeing none, we'll move on to our next item. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Maureen Carroll, 6862 Track Court. I read in today's Prince William Times an article about the town council voting on this past Thursday, June 28th, in a special closed session to censure former Vice Mayor Joe Passanello. After a very committed term as town council mayor and vice mayor, Mr. Passanello had only 2 days left to his term of office. Sadly, the June 28th timing for the closed session meeting reveals the highly political nature of the session to vote unanimously for censure. According to the article, the move to censure was prompted by an email critical of Mayor David Leak, which Mr. Passanello sent to reporter James Ivancic, the writer of the article I'm quoting. Mayor Leak obtained a copy of the email through Freedom of Information requests for Vice Mayor Passanello's own emails. This fact alone, the mayor used an FOIA request to read emails written by his own vice mayor, is shocking and extremely distasteful. The article goes on to quote Alan Gerhardt of the Virginia Freedom of Information Advisory Council, who stated he'd never heard of an elected official being censored over an email to the press. Gerhardt continued, I cannot recall offhand of having heard of a vice mayor being removed from office due to an email sent to a member of the press. I want to forcefully and positively state that Joe Passanello served Haymarket for 2 terms on the town council. He and his wife Kathy have been very active and very unselfish in helping out in Haymarket Days and all the other special events the town has held. The town of Haymarket owes Joe and Kathy Passanello deep gratitude, not censure. Joe's dedication, his intelligence, his transparency, his honesty have all contributed positively to Haymarket. Clearly, the meeting held 2 days before Joe's term ended, a meeting where Joe was not present to speak for himself, a meeting paid for by the town's limited funds, reflects badly on the mayor and all who voted to censure, not on Joe. I'm offering Joe and Kathy my personal thanks for all their work on behalf of Haymarket. Thanks, Joe and Kathy.
All right, next up would be Jim Carroll.
Same address, 6862 Track Court, and after 47 years, we do tend to think alike. We don't always agree, but on this evening, we do. I would like to mention 2 points, Mr. Mayor and members of the Town Council. The first is to offer a word of gratitude to former Councilman and Vice Mayor Joe Passanello. Joe served the people of Haymarket with distinction for the past 4 years. His integrity could not be questioned by anyone aware of the issues facing our town during that time. Whether hanging flags from light poles or emptying trash bins during Haymarket Day, Joe was always quick to do whatever work needed to be accomplished. His integrity and positive attitude in carrying out whatever tasks were evident to all he worked with, and he retained an attitude that his was a position of service to his adopted community. He obviously conveyed that attitude to the members of the town council and to the mayor, for when Steve Aiken was forced to resign, Joe was the one who was chosen to be the vice mayor. So therefore, he exemplified those attitudes even to this group. The people of Haymarket owe Joe a debt of gratitude for his service. I am proud to call Joe a friend, and I offer him my thanks. My second concern this evening also reflects what my wife just said. It is to highlight the lack of integrity and the lack of transparency evidenced by you, Mr. Mayor, and the Town Council on last Thursday's evening. At a hastily called meeting of the Council, one for which the only agenda published was to go into a closed session. It turns out the closed session was to attack the absent vice mayor over Joe's contact of a local newspaperman. His crime was that he wanted to be transparent in his dealings with the people of Haymarket. 2 days after this closed meeting, Joe's term of office was to end. So what was accomplished? First, Joe lost the title of vice mayor for 2 days. Second, unless the town council and the town attorney, who was also present at this meeting, decided to forego their stipends, this meeting cost the town of Haymarket a great deal of money. And it demonstrated that we have a town council lacking in integrity, fearful of transparency, and failing to live up to the ethical standards for which it accused Joe. Third, and most importantly, this surreptitious and costly meeting was done to be nothing more than spiteful and mean-spirited. The results say far more about you, the members of the town council, and the mayor, than it says about Joe. He stands for and stood for honesty and integrity and transparency in holding public office. You and those who voted for this motion demonstrated that you do not. Thank you.
And thank you for your comment. Would anybody else like to address the council? Good evening.
Good evening. Dottie Leonard, 14801 Washington Street, Haymarket. Sounds like we have a bit of a bee's nest, and I only can say to all of the things that I've heard, and I'm sorry that I was late and didn't hear all of it, that yes, as a councilman and vice mayor, Joe was exceptional and did his job, and lots of extra things, including taking my trash can back from the street many times when I wasn't able to get out and get it. He is a good soul. He made one mistake. There's a kind of golden rule with Haymarket that you keep Haymarket out of the press. And it's been said over and over and over again, and I'm sorry that that happened. I think we can dust our feet off, start all over again, honor him for what he did that was right during his 4 years of service. But I can't fault anyone for how you chose to handle it. And I'm sorry that that happened. I think all of you have done an exceptional job, including the ones that aren't here any longer. I'm looking forward, and I really want to welcome the new ones. Well, at least 2 of you are brand new here tonight. And I'm grateful for your service. I'm grateful for his service. I'm grateful for everybody's service. I've done it. I know what it feels like. It's a challenge, and it takes courage, and I'm still exercising my courage. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the council? Seeing none, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next item. We're on page number 8 of our agenda, a public hearing for SUP 2018-008, St. Michael's Academy. I'm not sure if the staff have any presentation, or do you want me to just go ahead and open for public comment? Okay. With no, I'm sorry.
I'll say a couple words.
Sure.
So tonight we have a public hearing to permit an educational facility located in the R1 zoning district at 6735 Fayette Street. So this is St. Michael's Academy. They've been before town council in previous years for other locations, and tonight they're here to renew their SUP, and with this SUP they'll be removing their modular trailer that currently exists on the site, moving all children into the parish hall, and that's about it. So they're decreasing the intensity of their current use. So.
Okay. And at this time, I'll open it, the mics up for any kind of public, either in favor or against the SUP. And if you could, there again, just come up to the podium and your name and address for the record. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Anita Stevens, and I'm the preschool administrator for St. Michael's at 6735 Fayette Street. And we were asking that our permit be allowed to continue through the end of the year for our modular, so that we can accommodate any delays in the possible remodel of the parish hall. And all that should be done and completed hopefully before school starts, but just in case. It also gives us time to sell the modular unit as well. And we'd also like to request that we be labeled as an educational facility. We have plans to stay there and would like to serve the community of Haymarket.
Okay. All right, thank you. And we have, I think, one other person is going to come up for the SUP. Oh, okay, all right, all right, no worries. Any other comments? Okay, if no objection, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. And we're going to go on to our next item is our department reports. We have Chief Lands. We're on page 9 of our packet.
Good evening, Council. I'd like to welcome the new members of Council. So you have my report. Are there any questions on the stats for the month? All right, just to go over a couple things that happened this month, all community policing related. As you heard before, we had the annual Longstreet Commons water balloon fight. It was awesome, like always. We were completely soaked. Last year it was 2 officers, this year it was 4. And like Marchant said, once they found out that they could throw something at a police officer, they just all honed in on us rather than each other. But it was great. We had a gentleman named Frank who did a good video for us, set it to music, school's out, and it turned out great with the last shot of Jake getting hit with the water balloon. So I encourage you, if you're not already a member of the Haymarket Police Department Facebook page, for you new members, please go there. We update positive things to the community all the time, and that's got a huge response. Over 9,000 views so far as of today. So we did that. We had a car show, which was great. I'd like to thank Corey for putting that together. Him and QBE did a great job of putting all that together. We had 75 cars. We had a great time this year. It was less hectic than last year. We worked out a lot of the problems and bugs from last year, and it went great. So I'd like to recognize him for putting all that together. He's just turned into a fantastic community relations officer. He did a great job. Right now we're currently working on National Night Out, which is August 7th. Please put that on your calendars. It would be great if council members came out and attended that. It's a night where everyone can come out and meet their police officers. We'll have bounce houses and Dunkin' booths. We'll have Star Wars characters there, as well as Mission Barbecue giving out free food. So it'll be a great event. Please come out and support that for us. Officer Davis and the police department put on a women's self-defense class this month at Next Level. We had 30 ladies come out and learn how to kick butt, and they had a great time. We used the donations that they gave us to put toward the AEDs that we're working for this year to put in the back of all the police cars. I'm happy to report that of the 7 that we need, that we're working on getting throughout this year, we're halfway into the year now, and we have enough to purchase 4. So I'll be doing that probably tomorrow or first of next week. We'll be purchasing them and putting them in the 4 units that hit the street, the patrol units, and then next will be one for my vehicle, one for the sergeant's vehicle, and one for the police department itself. So we're doing well there based on all the events that we've been putting on. Also, we did Public Safety Day at Haymarket Baptist. Officer O'Neill and Sergeant Shaver went over there and let the kids crawl all through the cars and gave safety talks. That was a great event that lasted a couple hours last week. We also had 60 kids from the Mount Kim Martial Artist School that were here. If you saw that on Facebook, it was a big group all wearing red shirts. Officer Davis connected with them since he has multiple belts in martial arts himself. Once the kids got a hold of that, they asked him a ton of questions, and then afterwards they went outside and ran through all the police cars and hit the sirens and the lights and had a good time. The last thing I want to talk about is the classroom in the back. I think you have seen, some of you who were here prior to me getting here, the way the police department in the back was set up before with the cubicles, where I took 2 cubicles out and made a kind of a conference room back there. Yet today, Sergeant Shaver got with the Department of Criminal Justice Services, and they came in this morning and certified that as a classroom, so that now whenever our instructors, which we have Officer Davis is an instructor, Officer Gregory is an instructor, and Officer O'Neill just became an instructor last year. Anytime that they give classes now to us back there, we'll now get credit for that, and we have to have so many hours each year of credit hours to maintain our certification as a police officer. So that's a big deal for us to now have a certified classroom for the Department of Criminal Justice Services. Sergeant Shaver was instrumental in putting all that together. So that's all I have. A lot of community policing this past month. We got kind of a quiet month this month. We're ramping up for August and September and October, which is just going to be...
Why did you say that?
I'm sorry, Chief. You just saw
Yeah, did
all
they
your
freak out
officers.
when I said the
like,
Q word?
What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Right.
Of course, yeah. Anybody just saw the rundown report from yesterday, it was like if anything is like that,
Correct.
it's getting pretty crazy out there.
So unless you have any questions, that's all I have for you
I have
tonight.
one. How much does an AED setup cost?
So retail cost is $1,225. I can get them for $825.
Do you have to be trained?
Yes, once we get them all, we'll do a one-day training session.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Other questions?
Mayor.
Okay.
Chief, I was at another one of our town meetings here about a week or two ago, and I heard some folks say that they wish the old chief had done more or the current chief done more bike rodeos like the old chief. It's to my knowledge, though, that since I've been on council, that you were the only chief that has done these types of bike rodeos. How many bike rodeos have you done, let's say, in the last year?
So last year and a half, we've done, I believe, 4.
4, almost one a quarter.
And since I got here, we instituted the bike squad, which is Officer O'Neill and Officer Davis, and I've tasked them with doing bike rodeos. We've done them here in the parking lot, and we've done them at Green Hill. What school did we do one at? Alvey and Bull Run. So yes, we have done them. I'm not sure how that was missed by the person that had said that. But
Excellent. And Mayor, if I may as well, I was reading an article today in the Prince William Times, and I was looking at the comments section within the social media, and I tend not to respond back to the social media comments just because it can get out of hand. I like to do things in an open public forum in that instance. But one of the items that was mentioned was that we're a speed trap town and all we do is spend money on police cruisers. I believe the reason why we had ended up doing this lease program was for the amount of money that we were having to dump into those old Dodge Chargers, and the repair fees were just getting out of hand to where we were putting more money into the vehicle than what the vehicle was actually worth. Would you agree with that, Chief?
Absolutely. And I think you could tell by the numbers you have in front of you for this past month, we've given 100 warnings more than we've given tickets.
Agreed, and as well as not just this month, but for the month of May, which would then be April's statistics, 620 business checks, 176 warnings, and only 29 summons. May, which would be their March numbers, would be 542 business checks, 212 warnings, 39 summons. And then March, which would be February's numbers, would be 530 business checks, 235 warnings, and only 53 summons. So as we can tell, the trend, I mean, you're by far giving more warnings than you are actual summons. And looking through the actual reports as well as the daily rundowns, I think we're going to be better known as a drug enforcement town with taking the weed, cocaine, scheduled narcotics off the streets. So I definitely want to say, thank you to you and your officers for everything that you do.
Thank you, sir. And a comment to that, I've said before that there's a lot worse things for the town to be known for than you better slow down when you come through it. We're a walking town. We want to be known as you need to slow down when you come through here. But I think the new guys will see through all the reports that I give you each month and the ones that have been on here, that although law enforcement is our primary responsibility, community policing and community service is more what we do than law enforcement on a percentage basis. All the business checks and the community events that we do is direct contact with your police department involved in this community, way more than we make arrests and scare people. So I think you'll see that borne out by the numbers you see each month. I'm very proud of my guys in this department. I think your officers serve this community as ambassadors and are safety related more than they are, fighting crime and scaring people.
I think there's a reason why there's a lot of law enforcement that live in the town. I know that to know that at 2 o'clock in the morning that you could actually have one of those officers walking our street in the dark and not in his cruiser just shows what the commitment is to looking out for our safety, and we appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any further questions or comments for the chief? Thank you, sir. All right, next up, our building's official report. That's a handout. It looks like not too much numbers have changed over since the last month.
No, sir, not too much added. I apologize we had to hand it out, but the way the meeting occurred, we couldn't get it out. As a matter of fact, I just got it.
No worries.
You'll see Sunday at 8
Yep.
a.m. But if there are any questions, Emily would be happy to try to answer them.
Mayor, if I may. Jerry, any complaints?
Actually, go, sure.
I have one I'd like to share, if you don't mind. So we have an applicant who's been through the site plan phasing here in town. It's taken them some time with that, a couple years. They were granted zoning approval, and they were given all the permit cards and approvals they needed. They went to the county. When they went to the county, they switched a couple items on their building plan, which was not in conformance with our zoning ordinance. So I did have to stop that with the county building department. I notified the applicant. They are working on the changes, but they did have a complaint about the process and wishing that they could work with someone here. But that is one complaint I've received.
But it's one.
It is one, sir, yes.
And to counterpoint that, Jerry, I think you might have an update as far as, because of having this building inspection relationship now, we were finally able to do what this past...
We had, with the help of, a lot of help from Officer O'Neill, I'd like to mention, we had the county fire marshal's office post 2 of the buildings across the street and condemn them and prohibit occupancy and entrance into the buildings, which we wouldn't have been able to do had we not have our permits under the county. And I wouldn't, in response, yeah, that's one complaint, but do you really want people to be able to come in here and change their site plans?
No, I agree. I think it's great, and for the mere fact that it ended up being the applicant who tweaked something on their own plans, which triggered that, which is totally understandable. It wasn't necessarily the process that they were going through, but something that they had done, which is understandable in that aspect. But I'm just curious to see, as we have switched over here recently to this, just want to see if we're having any troubles with it or if it's mainly going in a positive direction. So it's good to hear that it is in a positive and upward direction.
Okay. All right. No further questions or comments. We're going to move on to, we're on page 10 of our Business and Community Relations Specialist Report. Ms. Denise is on vacation, I believe.
Ms. Andrews is on vacation this week. Her report's included in the packet, and I think a lot of the items pertain to Haymarket Day, and something that most of the council, I think, is familiar with. But again, if there are any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Okay. Seeing no questions, we're going to move on to our town planner's report. Ms. Lockhart, and we're on page 11 of our packet.
Good evening, council. Welcome to our new council members. I look forward to working with you guys here. As you see, and most of you are aware, ARB, we had an extremely busy month. Lots of spring cleaning going on in town and some new projects. And for Planning Commission, we met on the, I believe it was the 18th, and we have a continuation meeting. So the public hearing for the Crossroads Village Center has been continued until July 9th. Since our planning commission meeting this month falls on the 4th, our next regularly scheduled meeting will be on Monday the 9th. Also, we have a couple of projects who have already received approval. You'll probably see they're working right on getting them done here in town. The Haymarket Iceplex has their new parking lot paved and ready for use, and a Dog's Day Out is moving right along. And then we had some kind of in-house things that we're working on. We have a newly adopted fee schedule, so that is updated on the website. You can find it on there. And then we have several other little projects in town, boundary line adjustments and some other projects that will be coming for special use permits in the near future. So, are there any questions about anything in particular?
Any questions? All right. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Moving on to our town engineers report. That's on page 13. Let's see if anyone has any questions regarding that, and we could direct that to Mr. Shiro if need be. Councilwoman Edwards, I can see you have your hand up.
I don't know. I could have asked Emily when she was up there. Have we gotten any notification as to when the wall at by Chick-fil-A is going to be done through VDOT?
I have been trying to contact our VDOT rep who's working on that. So the ARB did approve the material.
Right.
I sent that back, and I've not heard back since. So I will continue outreach on that.
Sounds good.
Who in VDOT is not calling that?
Christina Briganti Gunn.
Okay. She's passed that on. I will get you that name.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns? Okay. Moving on to our treasurer's report. We're on page 15. For anyone here, good news, sir. You ended your year, and let's tell us how it's looking.
Well, positive, in the black. Still have items we have to review. I've met with Mary, prepping for the annual audit. I know that we're going to be working in next month, reviewing some adjustments, but it's looking good. It's looking good within budget, so that's always a good thing. Aside from that, as I noted on my report, we are tentatively set a date for October, first week of October, for the auditors to come on site to go ahead and work here. They'll have a team here, the week max, hopefully. Right now, a lot of Haymarket Day, the Haymarket Day revenues coming in. You won't see it in the next. You'll see it in next month's report, but not in the budget because it's being deferred since it's going to go towards the next fiscal year. But we can talk about that as well as. I was able to attend the Treasurers Association of Virginia 2 weeks ago. Very, very nice group, very willing to help, and actually very positive feedback from driving through the town when they were going down to Roanoke. So it was nice to hear from them. Aside from that, I don't know if you have specific questions or anything on the report.
All right. We'll go around the dice and see. Any questions for?
No, sir.
Nope. No. All right. We look good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next up, Mr. Shiro, our business manager's report. I believe we have a handout too that we some housekeeping here.
Thank you, Mayor, and welcome to the new council members, and congratulations on the election. My report is included in the packet, and as you can see, I break it out basically by the categories. There's the departments in the town and what I've assisted with in the various departments over the month. A lot of the items have been covered, and working a great deal with Emily in planning and zoning, not only with some of the land use applications, but also with some of the blight enforcement that we're carrying out, and some of the some letters have gone out regarding vegetation, overgrowth, and some areas here in town. As the mayor mentioned, with the cooperation of the Fire Marshal's Office, we were able to have them inspect the buildings across the street, condemn 2 of the buildings and post them, and the police department's been monitoring it for us, and actually prohibiting anyone from entering the building. So we haven't heard from the owner yet, but we expect a response in that. We also have a letter that went out to the owner regarding the building and the buildings and the site. And the other thing, I have shown some of the rental space that we have available upstairs. We do have the area that Excellent Technology was in upstairs. It's been vacant for a while now. I did show it to one interested party, which was a quasi-governmental agency, a state agency. They've looked at it twice, but haven't gotten back with me yet. Did renegotiate a lease with Copper Cricket, so they're re-signed up for another 3 years. And also did some maintenance work on this building, provided some exterminator services for Copper Cricket, some of the other rentals. Other things are fairly routine. If there are any questions, you can read through it rather than me just read it to you. But before you do have a resolution for recognizing the spending for emergency tree removal. This was some trees that were damaged by some of the high winds that we've had, and also due to the saturation of the ground as a result of all the rainfall we had, some of the trees had become unstable. I received a complaint from some of the nearby residents that the trees were leaning and that some of the other trees were dangerous with the debris falling off of them. So I had procured some bids to have the trees removed, but hadn't pulled the trigger on the bid yet. We were waiting until the fiscal year came around. But in light of the fact that we'd been put on notice about the trees, I conferred with the mayor and we authorized the tree removal. The cost was $11,000, and what I would like to do is, also in front of you is our spending policy. Basically, it gives the town manager the authority to spend up to $10,000 with bids, and in extra circumstances allows the town manager with approval and conferring with the mayor to spend up to $25,000 to take care of a situation that could end up causing additional damage or liability to the town. So the resolution before you fulfills my responsibility to report to you that this was done, and I can read it if you'd like into the record, or if you would just like to review it and approve it.
Entertain a motion or discussion regarding it?
I just, in my other business, that I work in now, safety is paramount. I consider this a major safety issue. I truly do. There's a lot of us that frequent the park, whether it's taking care of our garden, my wife's garden, or just being up for whatever reason. In my opinion, the sooner that can happen, the better. It's a safety issue.
Done. Yeah, it's done.
Oh, it's already been done?
Yeah, we did it.
Okay.
My purpose of this is to report to you that it has done, it has been completed, and which is a part of the spending policy that the council adopted.
Thank you.
Yep.
Jerry, thank you for taking the initiative and knocking this out.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yep.
So the motion to approve resolution 2018-08 would be appropriate.
You want to do it?
I make a motion to approve Haymarket Town Council Resolution 2018-08.
I second.
Second by Councilman Shannon. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Shannon?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Edwards?
Yes.
Cavazos? Yes. Day?
Yes.
All right, great. All right, thank you very much. Our next item is our St. Michael's Academy special use permit. We're on page 29 of our packet.
So on page 29, you'll have my staff report. It pretty much just gives an outline of the history of the parcel and their special use permit applications prior to this one, the special use permit requirements, and then also in here I have on page 31, up near the top, you'll see in red, the Planning Commission did a recommendation for approval with the following conditions. The number of children is limited to the number permitted by the occupancy permit. The modular trailer is to be removed by December 31st, 2018 to allow for the sale of the trailer as well as the interior additions and renovations. And the parking and traffic flow shall follow the pre-approved plan, and if anything changes, the applicant must return to the town planner for an amendment to the SUP. Previously, back in the fall, there were some complaints of the traffic flow. The complaints were from the children's parents who attended the school, and we worked with the school chief and myself did to come up with a better flow of traffic. We've not received any complaints since, and they are amenable to working on that same plan that we approved to allow the traffic to come in on Payne Lane and then feed out on Fayette Street. All of the employees are to park down at the church, and then that leaves some parking there at the facility for the parents. So I've made a recommendation for approval with the following conditions that the Planning Commission also set forth, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Just for transparency's
Yes.
sake, could you please explain why they need a special use permit to have the school there?
So the previous special use permit had the school use as well as the trailer tied together. In the residential zoning district, you need a special use permit for a school or daycare to operate out of here. So they're removing the trailer, and their SUP is going to expire on August 31st, I believe, of this summer. So in order for them to start their new school year, they need to renew anyway. So they're renewing their SUP with the removal of the trailer. They're only going to do the educational facility, and they do plan to stay in town for a long time. They want to keep their school here and serve our community. So,
Thank you.
Okay. That's the part that impresses me, that they're staying here.
Mhm.
Because were they not looking at
Yes,
an
they were.
alternate? So I think that's a good thing.
When the trailer's removed, there'll be parking in its place, and will it be the rocks that are there now?
It will remain as is. Underneath the trailer, there's the gravel there.
Okay.
So it'll go back to the pre-existing use before, the parking will go back to what it was prior to the trailer.
So there'll be spaces, because I know right now it's just like a drive-through. Okay.
Yep.
Any other discussion regarding this?
Just the safety. I know that there's sometimes that it's been seen that the children or the teachers have wandered onto the Payne Lane property because there is that big wide open field there. But obviously the children's safety is our number one security. So I just want to, I don't know how we go about that in that matter, but making sure that we're staying off that Payne Lane property just for security purposes.
Yeah, I think that's been brought up to them before. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Mayor, could I say
Sure,
something?
absolutely.
Ms. Lockhart, I see that in your report that you recommend that this be an indefinite duration. I think that probably should be part of the motion as well. Now, I didn't think about it beforehand, and I didn't get a chance to mention it to you, but because the town has often issued SUPs for specific terms,
Right.
and the recommendation here is that this be in for an indefinite term, I think that should be part of the motion so that we have a clarity on the record.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Martin, is that something that you would concur with doing?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
The only reason for it to be limited duration was because it was a temporary use.
Temporary unit, okay. All right.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve SUP 2018-008 for St. Michael's Academy with the following conditions. 1, the number of children is limited to the number permitted by the occupancy permit. 2, the modular trailer is to be removed by December 31st, 2018. And 3, parking and traffic shall follow the pre-approved plan, and if anything changes, or is altered, the applicant must return to the town planner for an amendment to the SUP, and this SUP will be ineffective indefinitely.
Motion on the floor.
I second.
Second by Councilman Shannon. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Oh, right. Motion passes. There. All right, thank you all. Our next item we're going to do is our resolution 2018-05, and you have a 06 as well. And just for housekeeping, this is, as we know in the very...
06 and 07, right?
5 and 6. Planning Commission.
7 is the ARB.
6, apologies. 6 and 7. 2018, 06, and 07. So this is in order to, as we know, we had several of our members from our PC and ARB that have now joined the council and left some vacancies, and I think in order for us to conduct business on those two committees, we're looking at a reduction from a 7-member down to 5 members, and so we have these two motions in front of us to officially bring those down. Ms. Yeah.
Resolution 2018-5, I think, was the resolution from...
Just the spending.
Yes, I apologize. It's 6 and 7.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
6 and 7.
Yeah. So if that, I'll take them individually, so that way, just for the clarification and the votes. Any discussion regarding it?
So we're saying that resolution 2018-05 is for the planning commission to...
No.
That was the spending policy that we
Yep.
already did, the spending for the trees.
Yeah.
That was 08.
In the packet, yeah.
That was 8.
So resolution 2018-08 was for the tree spending. 2018-05 was from the special meeting last Thursday. 2018-06 is for the planning commission. 2018-07 is for the ARB.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Sorry for the confusion.
There's
Yep.
a lot of resolutions.
Some packets
tonight.
went out.
6 is in your packet. It says 5, but it's...
Yeah, there's just a typo in the packet. That's where the
What
confusion.
page is that? I'm sorry.
28.
Got it.
Yep.
So, Mayor, just to make sure, again, with that transparency, to make sure everyone understands, per our planning commission bylaws, we can have a board from 5 members all the way to 15 members, but with vacancies, as some folks have been elected to the town council, as well as with some folks resigning from their position or not seeking reappointment of their position on the commission, to be able to have quorum and to be able to continue our meetings. If we had a 5-member board, then our quorum would be 3, and with the number of applications that we have come in, we would not be able to succeed and have quorum within the next few meetings that are coming in, just from the mere fact that we don't have folks coming in and making applications for those positions on the planning commission as well as the ARB. And at any time, the town council can then go ahead and change the board back to a 7 or more member board.
Correct.
Just want to make sure everyone is understanding, as well as our constituents.
Okay.
Okay. With that, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve Resolution 2018-06.
Second.
Motion second by Councilwoman Edwards. Discussion on this motion, and there again, this is to reduce for the Planning Commission to a 5-member. No discussion, roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 All right.
Mayor, I move to approve Resolution 2018-07.
And seconded by Councilman Day. We have, this one is going to be for the Architectural Review Board, just for clarification, from 7 members down to 5. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Wonderful. Great. Got that taken care of. All right. Next up on our agendas, we have our updates. Anything from the Planning Commission? Let's see.
Mr. Mayor, I wasn't here. I was in the Smokies riding my Harley Davidson. However, I was briefed, and what Ms. Lockhart put out earlier is pretty much the information I had. The big point there is the continuation to July 9th. Understand Meladon representatives were here to answer questions. The traffic analysis was approved, and there was a closed and a work session as well, 2 different sessions there, and to prep the comp plan, the town comp plan during the work session. Did I miss anything, Ms. Lockhart?
All right, great. All right, questions for that? Seeing none, our ARB report.
Okay, this will be my last one.
Yeah.
We were very busy. We had a work session beforehand with the architects from Meladon. They brought us some plans and their vision. They were very receptive to our comments. They are now taking them back and working on them. They've been in touch with Ms. Lockhart to clarify things that were said, and they will come back to the, I believe, the July meeting with their revisions to see how that is received. Also, the 3 houses down on Fayette Street, there are 3 lots here. Those designs were approved, so that is moving forward from the ARB. All the banners have been secured, and they're up, and they look nice, and so that's all done for the year. Oh, McDonald's. Our friends McDonald's came with a revamping of their building for the whole region. I believe they said it was 295 McDonald's, so they came with a generic, I guess that's the best word for it, generic rendering, which was ultra-modern. And the representative from McDonald's was very kind. She sat and listened and had driven through town to come in, and she knew right away it wasn't going to fly. So she will take our comments back to the powers that be, to corporate, and they will be back in August with perhaps a different plan. So.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Next up, we have some closed session items that we need to discuss. And for our listening public, after that, we'll come back for our appointments and then our council member time. So if Martin, if you could be so kind to bring us into closed session for these items that we're allowed to legally go into for.
Yes, sir. The form of the motion would be to move that the council convene in closed session to discuss the following as permitted by Virginia Code Section 2.23711A1, personnel matters involving appointments of particular officers or employees, specifically the Planning Commission and ARB, and the personnel matters involving town staff.
Okay.
So moved.
Seconded by Councilman Shannon. Motion by Councilman Leek. Discussion on the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We're unanimous, and we will be back. Okay, we are back. We can have the attorney bring us back into open session.
Mayor, the form of the motion would be to move that the council certify that in the closed session just concluded, nothing was discussed except the matter or matters, 1, specifically identified in the motion to convene in closed session, and 2, lawfully permitted to be discussed under the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act cited in that motion.
So moved.
Second.
Have a roll call vote, please.
Shannon?
Yes.
Leek?
Yes.
Leek?
Yes.
Edwards? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, our next items is our appointments. If we could go through each one of these here.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry.
Before, why don't you need to open the floor for nominations for number 1?
Yes, correct. Yes, I'm sorry. For our vice mayor. We're going to go ahead and open up for nominations for vice mayor.
I move the Haymarket Town Council appoint Councilwoman Susan Edwards as the vice mayor of the town of Haymarket.
All right, we'll take that as, okay, we'll take that as an open for nominations and closed nominations. So we'll take that as a form of motion. Any discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstentions?
I'll abstain
And we have one abstention.
from voting for myself.
All right, congratulations, Ms. Vice Mayor. Yep. All right, next one, I think we have our Planning Commission and ARB boards.
Mayor, I move that the town council appoint Steve Shannon as the liaison of the town, of the town of Haymarket Planning Commission.
Okay.
I second the motion.
Motion been seconded by Councilwoman Bond. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Unanimous. All right. We've got to the ARB.
I make a motion to appoint Bon Cavazos as the liaison to the Architectural Review Board.
Second the motion.
Motion been seconded by Councilman Leak. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Unanimous. All right, we have some Planning Commission members.
Mayor, I move that that the Haymarket Town Council appoint Matt Cottle as a member of the Town of Haymarket Planning Commission for a term of July 2nd, 2018 through June 30th, 2022.
Motion on the floor.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman, Vice Mayor Edwards. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstention? All right.
It's going to be 2021. Do you want to make the motion?
Sure. Mr. Mayor, I move the Town of Haymarket Town Council appoint Anthony Glenn James Jr. as a member of the Town of Haymarket Planning Commission with appointment to fulfill a term of July 2nd, 2018 through June 30th, 2021.
I second the motion.
Motion been seconded by Councilman Leak. Discussion on this motion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, I think we're over to our ARB.
I make a motion to appoint Marchant Snyder to the Architectural Review Board
For what term?
for the term. He took it.
I gave it to her.
Go ahead, give it to me.
For an unexpired term of November 3rd, 2014 through November 2nd, 2018.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
I second.
And second, any discussion on this motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstained? Motion carries unanimously. I think that does it for our appointments for tonight. And we have another item. Let's see here. Another item. Martin, if you could read to me a form of a motion.
Yes, sir. The form of the motion would be to eliminate the position of Business and Community Relations Specialist effective today and pay 2 weeks severance.
Okay.
So moved.
And need a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Shannon. Discussion on this motion. Seeing none, a roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 All right. I think that covers our appointments, and now we're up to our council member time. First up, Councilman Steve Shannon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I've stated this before, I am super proud to be a part of this town and a representative on this town council. I love our little town. I'll say that as long as I'm here. I truly want to thank The prior council that I had the honor to serve with, and appreciate their work, as well as the Planning Commission, serving as originally as a Planning Commissioner, and then the liaison to the Planning Commission. I also want to thank each of the Planning Commission. I can't say enough about our police department. Being prior law enforcement myself at the federal level, I'm so proud of our police force here. Chief Lands leads a team of professionals. He sets the example. His troops follow. This town shows their appreciation day in and day out, just by comments that are made not only on Facebook, but as we talk to the citizens. I welcome our new council members to the team. Congratulate each of you, as well as Vice Mayor Susan Edwards, and I look forward to the next 2 years and truly believe we will carry on the great things that the previous council has carried. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, thank you. Councilman Lee.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. So to touch on some comments that I've seen and heard throughout the town. So as some folks may not know, all of our emails are on our town website. So if there's any constituent or anyone even outside of the town that wants to reach out to us, is able to do so by going to our Town of Haymarket website, pulling up the Planning Commission, ARB, or Town Council to be able to reach out to us. I know that there's sometimes folks who like to say positive things, and as well as some folks who like to say negative things, and everyone has the right to their opinion. And if any of those folks would like to share it with us, they're more than able to do so by going to the website, grabbing our email address, and sending us anything that they would like to. In regards to some comments that were out there, we're talking about our old, some buildings that are in town that are run down. We do have a blight ordinance. We have passed this blight ordinance in the past council, and Ms. Lockhart, our zoning administrator, is working very diligently and putting a lot of time and effort into executing this blight ordinance in regards to reaching out to property owners whose properties are coming down and buildings that don't look so beautiful as they should. And with that being said, there's a lot of times that there are timeframes that are put in on these blight ordinance in regards to state statutes and folks that have to meet certain timelines, and you have to give property owners deadlines to be able to meet and timeframes within there. So we are working diligently on some of the blight within the town. We have been able to give ourselves a little ammo by passing this blight ordinance in those regards. Also, knowing what our zoning ordinance is. The town doesn't just magically choose where they want things to go and what things are going in certain places. Everyone, as a property owner, has a by right use of their property because they are a landowner, and they have the right to develop on that land per our zoning ordinance. Our zoning ordinance is made up from our Planning Commission, and they take a good amount of time, and we did a full zoning ordinance rewrite last year and passed it in the June-July timeframe. And so when we look at different projects that are going on in town and proposed in town, it's not something that we're just pulling out of thin air. It's something that we're looking at. Doesn't meet our comp plan, doesn't meet our zoning ordinance. And with that being said is the hard thing about traffic. A lot of folks don't like traffic, but unfortunately, as a property owner, you cannot tell somebody that they cannot develop their property because of traffic. You can have them put in, do a study through VDOT, do a TIA, traffic impact analysis, and from there they can be determined that they need to put in turn lanes, they need to put in pedestrian walkways, they need to put in a stoplight. There's different things, but there's steps and a process that we follow in regards to any development that is coming into the town. Also, we did a good amount of restoration to the two buildings that the town owned that were historic buildings. So we have our building right out front that used to be Red House Ordinaire, and then we have our building over here to the east side. And we renovated that a couple councils ago and have been able to turn those into income-producing properties. We wanted to make sure that we didn't tear those down, that we wanted to be able to see and make sure that we're leading by example in regards to it's no fair if we look at other property owners and and tell them that they have to renovate and restore their historic buildings, but we weren't doing the same to ours. So a couple councils ago, we went back and made sure that we renovated these buildings into income-producing properties. I want to thank Councilman Cole, Councilman Passanello, Councilman Morris, as well as Councilman Aiken, who served on the last council and stepped down for family matters, which any one of us in his position would be doing the same thing. And Steve Shannon, thank you for stepping in and fulfilling Councilman Aiken's shoes there going forward. And I'm very happy with the folks who decided to run for council and be elected. Ms. Bond, Mr. Robert, Mr. Madhu is not here, and then being able to serve again with Councilman Shannon and Vice Mayor Edwards. Want to thank staff and our police department. You all do a great job. And Chief, just keep pushing forward. I know that there's negativity out there on different social media sites, but there's a lot more positivity. And just earmark here what Councilman Shannon said, the positive feedback that we've had through our community outreach and your hashtag committed to community is just outrageous, and it's just lovely. It really is great, the amount of commitment that you've done to our community. No further, Mayor.
Okay. Vice Mayor?
How do you follow that?
Yeah, I know. It's like...
I'm happy that the new council members are here. I'm excited for the next 2 years. I think we have a lot of great things going on in our town, and I'm really excited for what the future holds. And thank you to all our staff and the police department and all the residents for supporting us. And looking forward to it.
Councilwoman Bond.
I'm so thankful that we found our house in the town of Haymarket, and I absolutely love it. I think that we have such a special place here, and I'm honored to serve the town and our community, and I'm grateful to serve with all of you, so thank you.
No comment.
Yep, okay. In closing, yeah, all great comments, and I would ditto all those sentiments that you all have conveyed. I mean, when we look at our town, you know, it's something that attracted all of us to live in this municipality and this area. And you know, when we look back on some of our taglines of Haymarket being everyone's hometown, you know, we do embrace the folks over at Dominion Valley and Piedmont and Parks of Piedmont and Somerset and Gainesville and Heritage Hunt, because they really truly help make this town what it is. But yeah, thank you all for tonight, and I'll entertain that motion.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you all, appreciate it.